positive energy. Calm, positive, yeah. You see me, might sound hard on a track, but I ain't gonna talk no gibberish. I'll talk facts about how we've all been lied to, but we don't care about that. Constant distractions, all setbacks with iPhones and iPads, all that crap. Can't get rid of it, even though at times I'm a hypocrite, struggling, but I never tell myself I'm gonna quit. League of my own, I'm hardly seen around, and that goes. Third eyes open like nobody knows I'm crazy. The most people don't know, so I speak my mind, cause that's what I chose. When I talk real talk, then I expose, cause I got a lot to say, cause I know not just that, the feelings inside most. Like, it's positive energy. I'm about that positive energy. I know that positive energy, that's what I'm bringing, and that's what I'm meant to be. Yeah, positive energy, yeah, positive energy, yeah, positive energy, that's what I'm on, and that's what I'm meant to be. I'm about that positive energy. I know that positive energy. I'm like positive energy, that's what I'm bringing.
Yo, welcome on everybody. Welcome to the Ross Barnett show. Boy, I'm telling you now, yeah, this live business, you got to be on your toes, innit? So salute to everybody who's in the studio, salute to Benny Ben, and salute to everybody else. So this week, we got a real special guest, as you can see sat to my left, the lovely Lisa Marie Carter. Welcome, Lisa.
Hi, I'm good.
Welcome to the show.
Me, guys.
Nah, man, thanks for joining us. This is a bit of a privilege still, because I don't really, I have seen the interview with you online, but I haven't seen that much, but I know you're active, so I'm glad that you kind of graced us with your presence, so thank you.
No worries.
Thank you for coming. Boy, another mad show. Boy, what you saying, bruv? Talk to them about Bristol's traffic today.
I'm pissed off. I'm fed up with Marvin Rees. Get your ass back here. Right, from China, for whatever reasons you're over there. We need to sort out the homeless problems here. We need to sort out the housing problems. We need to sort out the traffic problems. I don't like people. There's been no accidents. There's been accidents over Hot Wheels. That shouldn't affect me. I live in Littlestoke. Marvin.
Wow. Salute
That's
to
all
Marvin.
I've got to say about that. I ain't saluting.
Where is Marvin?
He's in China.
Wow. Okay.
He's in China getting some... trying to get funds for some new development in Bristol. I don't know.
How does that make you feel, Barnett?
What do you mean, how does it make me feel?
How does it make you feel that Marvin's in China right now and you're like here having to deal with all the traffic and all that? Does that annoy you, bruv?
It annoys me, yeah, because it needs to be sorted out. It needs to be sorted out. All this traffic and that's been going on for over 2, probably 3 years now, just for this metro bus, which is what gonna get people into work 5 seconds quicker. That don't make sense. And then they want to up the prices on the tickets as well. Yeah. And then I know what they're planning on bringing a congestion charge into Bristol. I know it.
No, they are. They've already said that,
okay,
bruv.
see, that's what I mean.
They've already said that. But to be honest, at this point, with the amount of traffic that we're dealing with, that might not be a bad thing. Hopefully, it will deter some cars from being on the road, bruv.
No, it won't.
No, I agree, actually.
Well,
it
do you know what?
Won't.
I see a guy, and this is no lie, I see a guy in a 17 plate Mercedes park up outside of my building, and he walks across to the job centre to sign on.
Barnett, why are you baiting me up like that, fam? Just allow it, innit?
Sorry, I actually
Jesus Christ, fam.
But yeah, that's all I got to say about that. I'm angry today, but Lisa's on, so I'm going to compose myself and I'm going to be professional.
Good.
I know Lisa from school, and she knows me to be very, professional.
You knew him from before he was grey, innit? Before he even had any facial hair. Yeah, back in the day. Look, welcome to everybody who's tuning in. Guys, I know that we're a bit late this week, but I just want to say big up to everybody in the comments. So big up to man like Wiser, big up to Kim Strange, Donna, Wagwan Donna, hope you're good. Man like Rakes, Wagwan Scotty Rakes, Shirley, we see all of you, Marcus Barnabas. Like I said before, salute to Benny Ben in the background, innit, on the tech side of things. He's looking like a fresh Chico DeBarge, like always. His cane rows are looking a little bit rough right now, but apart from that, he's on 4 minutes. So, salute for coming through, Benny. So look, guys, We got a good show packed with a few topics. There's been a lot of things going on this week, as always, really. And sometimes, like, when we're kind of planning the show, we have to, like, look through what's going on and try and decide what's relevant. And a lot of things, because there's so much content, everything's happening so quickly, sometimes it's the case that, like, the day of the show, something kind of emerges. So one of the topics we're going to talk about is something that's really fresh. But the first thing I want to talk about is this incident that happened with the bullying, yeah? So we're going to show you guys a video. Hold on a second, just before you launch the video. So there was basically an incident where there was a boy in America from the one of the southern states, I'm not sure exactly which state it was, who basically published a video online. It went viral. It was talking about bullying and why people don't like him and, like, why people are bullying him. And it was kind of like a call for help. And you know, here at the Ross Barnett Show, we agree that bullying is terrible. But kind of like this video generated a large sum of money from a GoFundMe campaign. And then after it, some things kind of transpired that made it look like everything that we thought was the case maybe wasn't the case. So yeah, we're gonna show the video now, and we'll come back and you guys can share your we'll talk about it.
Criticized about it because it's not their fault. But if you are made fun of, just don't let it bother you. Just stay strong, I guess. It's hard. But it'll probably get better one day.
Yo, so that was the video. Do you know what? I tell you what I'm gonna do, yeah? Before I kind of say my thoughts, I'm gonna, like, throw it that way, innit? So, I don't know, Lisa, Barnett, what do you guys think about this video?
I'm going last.
Okay. Well, for me, it's a perfect example of things aren't always what they seem.
Yeah.
And I think it's like there's a great lesson in it for all of us, that we're so quick to digest information without actually validating it first.
Yeah.
And that is evident in people's everyday life. We hear something and we just run with it. And really, it serves our right when we get caught up, maybe even donating to the GoFundMe, which I think has raised something like over 50k.
Yeah.
You know, just from one simple video, everyone's so quick to listen to something that seems negative and it's like, oh my gosh, and a shocker, and then get tied into it, and there you go. That's how rumours are spread. That's how gossip happens. And I think, yeah, the lesson in it is to literally do your research and don't be quick to listen to everything you hear.
Lisa, that's what I'm telling these guys all the time. All the time. Trying to talk to me about Bob Marley wearing Converse.
What's that one?
Yo, last week.
Sorry.
Yo, you got a trim as well, Barnett. You got a trim, yeah?
I did this myself.
No, like I'm saying, your hairline at the back, it looks so clipped up.
Yeah.
Rah. Go on. Sorry, blood. Back to topic, though.
Yeah, basically, in this topic, obviously, bullying is bad. He may have been getting bullied, which obviously ain't nice, but to have...
Obviously.
To get that...
You used to bully me at school, remember?
Yeah,
nah, bullying girls, fam.
No, he didn't. He was
bullying girls.
I bullied everyone. I bullied teachers, the caretaker. I bullied everyone.
Nah, you were probably bigger than the teachers as well at a certain point, innit?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Right, let me get my point across, man.
Sorry, brother.
The mum has obviously... The thing is, you know what annoys me is these GoFundMe pages. I gotta be honest. These GoFundMe pages annoy me. Who set up a GoFundMe page because this boy was being bullied?
The mum.
Is it the mum?
Yeah, the mum.
The money is not gonna help the situation. I know a lot of famous athletes and artists have been in contact with the mum, saying they want to take the son to, you know, the studios or to a game and stuff. And the mum was like, no, I don't want him to do that. I just want money.
Yeah.
That's what she said to them straight. Now, bear in mind, the boy is probably getting bullied. And the mum going on like that, she don't care about the situation anyway. She does not care about the situation. So, social services in America need to get involved, man. She's in a way selling her son out.
Yeah, definitely. Not selling him out, but she's like, he's up for that. She's monetizing a fucked up situation, innit?
Yeah.
So Can I give my thoughts now?
No, I ain't finished.
Okay.
There's a lot of people now that are coming on social networks saying like they were bullied and stuff, and they're setting up GoFundMe pages. It's getting ridiculous.
Yeah, I see some bad ones on Twitter already, bro.
You see the peanut head guy. All right. Anyway, go on, bro. You can say
No. So first of all, yeah, I think that first things first, like bullying is wrong, innit? In any form, like whether it's face to face, whether it's like boy to girl at school, whether it's internet, like it is bad, innit? And I think that the fact that this boy's being bullied is bad, yeah? If he is obviously saying racist shit behind the scenes, he deserves to kind of have that addressed, but bullying is wrong. Now, as far as the family monetizing it, like, I think what Lisa said, again, 100% correct. Like, people are so quick to jump on the bandwagon. And do you know what that kind of came from? It came from celebrities endorsing that. Yeah. So really, the lesson kind of is, most of the people, like the masses, we just follow, innit? That's the honest truth. A lot of people, they just follow. So if their favorite rapper, singer, actor, actress says, oh, this is a good cause, then bang, everybody starts donating money. Now, those people, yeah, there's no way that money is going to answer their problems. Like, first of all, let me kind of censor this shit, yeah, so let me not say it. First of all, those people need to address their views on race, yeah, that's what I believe, but the money is not going to fix it. And I'm glad that it got exposed, and I'm glad that, like, basically now everybody kind of sees it for what it was. But I think the people who really should be apologizing to all of those people who donated, because don't get it twisted, the people who donated, yeah, they were people who were just doing something because their favorite celebrities was recommending it, you know. Because to be honest, like $50,000, I think like people like Snoop endorsed it, yeah. So some of these people who endorsed it, like 50 grand's nothing to them. So it wasn't them who was donating, you know. It was just like the average everyday people. So, you know, I think it was bad. I think that, you know, the fact that this woman's just rinsing her son for money, obviously, like, they're going to have a good Christmas from it, though. Like, people's all outraged. They're probably laughing about it, fam. They're going to have a good Christmas, innit? They're going to have a big turkey, beer gifts. It's going to be a good one for them, bro.
They probably eat crocodile.
Exactly. Yo, I seen a picture of some barbecued crocodile as well. Hold on, we got another clip. We're gonna show. Is this the mum? Yeah, all right, this is the mum. Let's hear what the mum got to say.
What you gotta say?
I am sorry. Again, it's two pictures from the same day. There's a story behind it. But anybody that knows me would say, that's just crazy, Kim. Because I've actually caught more problems for being at the opposite end of the spectrum for most of my life. So, I mean, being in a small town. And I feel like you find two pictures out of thousands. You find one post and link it to that had absolutely nothing to do with that. And, you know, Friday, I didn't know America and the world was going to see that. And the people that knew me knew it was funny, knew it was ironic, knew it was like, ha. And the people that didn't, who cares? Still kind of almost, I mean, I'm sorry. But for myself, I know who I am. I know who my friends are. For my kids, too many kids do too many crazy things to turn something that could have been amazing into something that's not. I mean that, you know, yesterday he was a hero. You know, the world loved us. Today the world hates us. And again, I'm trying really hard to think. I was trying to not get caught up in the positives, so we're not going to get caught up in the negatives. But we're just going to be who we are. We're just going to know who we are.
So there we had the mum bumbling on some bullshit. One point I just want to make before obviously like you guys kind of weigh in. I do honestly think that racism is something that does definitely come from parents. The first time I got racial abuse, I spoke about this on the show before, I was about 24, 25. So I was living in Kingswood at the time, yeah. That was the first time I lived in kind of like a quote-unquote white area, yeah. And this little boy who was about 6 called me a nigger, yeah. And like, I just burst out laughing, didn't it? Like, I did. I burst out laughing because I didn't feel threatened, obviously, as like a 6-year-old child, but I'm just thinking, wow, like I've come all this way in my life to get abuse from you. But that you is obviously got that mentality and those words and that language from his parents. And I feel like this boy who's kind of involved in this case, in a way, I kind of feel a little bit for him because he's being raised by people who are clearly pieces of shit. And if something doesn't happen soon, he's going to evolve into one of those pieces of shit as well. That's what I think. What would you reckon?
I think probably from this situation that's happened now, that he's been involved in, I think it's going to probably open up his eyes to the real world instead of his little town where he lives in. And it probably something will probably come good of it from the kid. You don't know. But we say racism and stuff from parents. I think a lot of it has to do with the internet now as well. Because some of the stuff that is on, kids go on YouTube now and they'll be watching the most innocent thing, and then it would just turns into darker, deeper racism. People. My mind's gone blank.
Floyd Mayweather.
People judging other people for the colour of their skin. All that stuff's on YouTube. Like, I ban my kids from YouTube.
You ban them?
Yeah, they can't watch YouTube.
Yeah.
It's not on their tablets or anything. They got kids' YouTube on there. Yeah. And that's it. They can't go on YouTube. YouTube's a dangerous thing.
Yeah, it is now.
That's all I got to say about that.
Lise, what's your final thoughts on the whole situation?
As far as racism is concerned, yeah, I think a lot of things, not just racism, but anything stems from your home and from your parents. But there's so many influences now. Like you said, we have the internet, there's social media, there's YouTube, which is very influential, and kids are so engrossed in YouTube and all of the YouTube kind of celebrities. There's like influences from everywhere. So, you know, for example, you being called a nigger, you can't even directly say that it came from the parents, because sometimes kids are influenced from their friends. It's just the environment and the times we live in. But yeah, hopefully this kid is educated through the situation, even though it might be quite shameful for him, and he might even feel more kind of spotlighted now than when he was being bullied. But yeah, I think us as the viewers and him and his family have a lot to learn from the situation. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with those points, and I do, you know, I do think now though, it's probably a critical time, because he's gonna get it more now. Yeah, he's gonna get it more. He's gonna get it from adults now, basically. At that point of his life, it was probably just the kids at his school.
He's now seen as a reflection of his family.
Yeah,
and that's why you have to be careful about what you teach your children, what you allow them to represent, because they represent your family. And the first things people will blame is the home, is the parenting. Do you know what I mean? Rather than their social circle. So yeah.
I don't know what will come of this boy. Hopefully he'll pull through, and he'll, you know, go to university, leave his family, marry a black woman, and have beautiful mixed
marry a black woman,
and have beautiful mixed race children, and go to Jamaica, buy some land in Africa, and just change his life.
Change his whole life around. Yeah, man, that was beautiful, bruv. That was beautiful. Still, all right. So, so what's the next topic on this agenda? Is about missing children? Is that what we got?
Yeah, missing children in Enfield, like within the past, I think it's
throughout November.
Yeah, just going missing.
Yeah,
a certain age. It's like 12. What's the age, Benny? Is it like 12 to 15?
17
of just
even,
gone missing, and there's been nothing on the news about it once again. And nothing's been said about it on the news, and I just find it mad that we live in a time now where kids can go missing with all this CCTV around, and we can't track kids' last steps of where they've been and where they were last seen, or where they've come from, or who's seen them last.
What do you think's behind it?
I always think
this organ thing.
Nah, I sometimes think that kids at that certain age, they just want they just probably go to a different town, maybe go to not a different town, but go to a friends who they've met online, but a group of them, because it's a group of guys that all live in the same area, roughly the same age, so they are friends. So maybe they've linked someone online and they've just gone to go and stay with that person or whatsoever, and I don't know, but the organ thing's like the last thing I would think.
Do you know, I remember just kind of referencing something that's popular in media. Do you remember in Top Boy, yeah? I think it was the...
Never watched it.
You ain't watched Top Boy?
Nah,
that's wank, bro. Have you not watched Top Boy? Are you serious?
No.
Nah, that's wank. Have you watched it, Lise?
Not all of it.
But you watched some of it, yeah? All right, cool. All right, in Top Boy though, like one of the storylines, this is something that's very realistic, yeah? It was basically a group of olders and they kind of got some youngers to come with them and they took them to what they call a cunt spot, yeah? So what...
They were saying that in the comments.
Right.
One guy was like, I bet they're stuck like somewhere in a squat, in the middle of the sticks, in a crack house somewhere.
Right, and that's exactly what I think could possibly... I'm not saying this definitely, but there is definitely a culture, I would say more so in London than probably here, is this tendency of people who are kind of like dealers in the area. They'll recruit a group of youngsters and they'll basically take that group of youngsters to to a different city or a different town where they've got a spot set up where they're selling drugs. And that does happen as well. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So I'm not saying that that's behind this, but I would assume that some of the disappearances that have happened historically can be attributed to that. Like literally, you know, these youngers who are going and they're very influential at these ages and they're just going with olders who really don't give a shit about them, let's be honest, and they're just taking them elsewhere to do crime. I think that might have something to do with at least a proportion of those kids, bruv. I would hope it's kind of more so that than they are literally been killed and are, you know, they're just missing and their bodies are dismembered somewhere. I hate to think that is the case. I would prefer it to be something more like the first example. I mean, neither of them are desirable, but I don't know.
The numbers is quite suspicious, though. Do you know what I mean? It's not just one or two; it's quite a few. So
6.
Yeah.
6 people, is it, Benny? Just nod.
Benny said a few. All right. So yeah, I don't know, man. It is scary.
What are the police doing about this? Because I haven't seen anything on the police.
There's so much missing people though in London, you know, bruv.
I've got a friend who works for a company in London. When he comes up to do some work, he's always got a different poster on the back of his car, like a laminated poster on the back of his car. Every time he comes up, and he comes up every 2 weeks, and he's just got a different picture of a person like under 20 all the time, different person. Yeah, it's scary.
And you see it on social media. I see it on social media a lot, like people tweeting around pictures. Fortunately, like sometimes I do see like, oh, like this person has been found, but a lot of the time I don't. Like a lot of the time I just see, yeah, like, can you help me find my brother or sister? They're missing, and you never really hear about kind of what happens in the future or the end. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, because I mean, some of these pictures that you see on the internet have been going for years and years, though. Like I seen a picture the other day of someone, and it was in, what, 2002, and someone's reposted it. Oh, this person's gone. Do your research, man. It's 2002.
Sad, isn't it?
Very sad.
Well, I hope that I hope that the police are taking this seriously, and I hope that there are some breakthroughs.
If anybody knows any other information about it, please just write on our comment section or even write on our page or message us to let us know so we can update people with what's going on in that, because it's very serious. I mean, if things like that probably happening here in Bristol, we don't even know about it.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean?
It's true.
A lot of things are going on, and in certain areas you won't hear about it at all. But if it was somewhere like maybe Clifton or, you know, one of those areas, then you'll hear about it. But the areas where we come from, you ain't gonna hear nothing.
Yeah. All right, so let's I just want to cover off one more thing before we break, and then we come back with having a more in-depth conversation with Lisa. But something else that's kind of arisen that was highlighted today. So Benny actually shared this originally with Barnett and myself early this morning. Was it last night or was it this morning?
This morning.
I saw it this morning anyway, early. A video's emerged on social media, and it's of a woman who's talking about an experience where her son at some stage must have been caught up in some kind of gang culture, and basically support workers intervened and got involved with this young man And this young or this woman, this mother, is telling a story about the experience. So let's watch that video, and then we'll come back and you guys can we can discuss it a bit more.
My issue is with a woman who is a gangs worker, who I've just found out today that my son's telling people that he goes to her house and sleeps at her house and sleeps in her bed. He's 19, but he's been having involvement with this woman since he was 15, and she doesn't stop buying him things despite me begging her not to, despite me reporting it to yacht, despite me reporting it to probation. This woman, yeah, is consistently flinging money after my child, buying him laptops, giving him £200 there, £200 there, £50 a week, what he's buying weed with, paying his Uber cabs all about the place, yeah? And now she's got him, not only him, several little young black boys sleeping at her house. Now, I'll let you know this, yeah? I'm sick. The other day, my friend wrote a status, yeah? And she's never ever heard such a true word, yeah? She said that we all bang on about it takes a community to raise our kids. But yet there are so much judgmental people that we can't go to them and tell them our problems that we have with our children. We can't go to them and tell them, yeah? We get blamed for everything. All the way these people are running their kids. Listen, this woman has come into my life and into my household when my son was 15 and done a little misdemeanor on the street and took over my parenting rights. That's what she did, yeah? Anything I do, anything I tell my son to clean up his room, he calls this woman crying. And this white woman, sorry, I never ever bring colour into any outspoken things that I do, you know. But I'm going to do it in this because I'm going to tell you why. As a support worker of 17 years, going and supporting young people, I never understood why certain black families or parents or whatever, yeah, will frowns up on us. They don't want support. They don't want people in their business. They don't want this, that. I didn't get it. Because we're here to help, or so I thought. But let me tell you this. You see, the day that my son decided to run away from home, because never has he been arrested or gone to jail. And it's 2 times now he's gone to jail, and countless times he's been arrested. Every time this woman decides that she's going to move my son out of my home to give him a better life than who? Better life than, how dare you? To support us, yeah? Support us, not come into our homes and fighting my tears right now. To tear our homes apart, yeah? Coming in like you know better. What do you know apart from your textbook about young black boys? What do you know? You don't know nothing. You don't just come and think that you're better than everyone else and that you've always got the cure to fix people's problems. No, you don't. No, you don't. All you do is destroy us. That's what you do. Come and take my son and you're giving him money and you're buying him laptops, and money ain't my problem. Money ain't my problem. I roll around in clothes and cars and things. My house is nice. Money is not our problem. The problem is society. Society is our problem.
Wow. So yeah, peeps, quite an emotional video there. Now that is obviously, we've shown you like 3 minutes. The total video is about 18 minutes long. But I think that the segment that we just showed you, it pretty much captures the overall essence of the video. So I'm going to go to Barn first of all. Barn, what do you think about this, bruv?
I think it's something that you've seen happen in, I've seen it happen in, I can't even say, not that situation where the probation officer is sleeping with people, but you see them come in and deal with children in a different way and try and protect them from our culture, how we've been brought up. I used to get beats and it did me good, I ain't gonna lie. And there's like people now saying, oh, you can't hit your kids and stuff like that. But I see their kids going on a bad way. And I can't see how their kids are going to grow up and have any manners for anyone unless they're disciplined. Because I've seen, there's a couple that I know, I don't know them, I see them about. And I see their son kicking them up in their shins. Do you think my son could do that to me? Wow. No way, I got the eyes. Give him the eyes. I learned that from my dad, the eyes. And that's it, he knows. And kids like saying, no, they're not going to do this and do that. Kids have to go and clean your room. When your parents tell you to go and do something, you do it straight. The grass ain't always greener. Look at this woman now. The son's run to this woman. The woman's giving him money. She's sleeping with him or whatever. Since she's been involved in his life, he's been to prison twice. When he was living at home with his mum, he hadn't been in prison. Since he's been dealing with this woman, this probation officer, he's been to prison twice. Because you can't learn about what's going on in these kids' area, in their areas, like the crime and pulling them away and talking to them. You need a mentor in the area to go and talk to these kids, to try and talk sense to them, to tell them, yo, the things that you see that person doing or this person, they're just doing that because that's all they know. You've got a chance to go to school. You're at an age to go to school and go and learn something, go and learn a trade and be a better man than what? Well, not even a better man, just a better person, innit? Not even a better person, because some people have to do those things, what they did for their families, to give their families a better life. Not for them to then go and do the same thing. It's about uplifting yourself and bettering yourself and bringing up your community. It should never come to a point where we've got people that go to university and, like the woman said, read textbooks on how to deal with people to make them better, because it don't work like that. We got to learn from our own culture to make us better. That's all I got to say about that. Lise?
I think like what's happened is a prime example of like the sort of charities and organisations that are out there today who are intervening in black families' lives to try and help them, but with no understanding of black culture. Yeah. And if you don't understand black culture, you've already lost. Because you can't understand our ethics, you can't understand our values, you can't understand our struggle, you just can't understand us as a people. And you know what may seem hard in terms of how we raise our children, because we may seem like we're harsh disciplinarians. Actually, it can be taken overboard. Because you know, I've never beaten my son, but I'm very pleased with how he's turned out. But discipline was at the foundation of everything that I did. Yeah. And it stems from love. You know, and it stems from wanting your children to do well, whereas someone from the outside might see that as abuse, maybe if you're getting beaten or you're harsh, but it's because you don't want your children to fail. So she's come along with all these sweeteners that this child's probably never seen or had, because his mum's been more focused on him succeeding or not failing or not ending up in jail. And I just think, not even just as a youngster who's 19, but even black men who grow up and are attracted to that sweetener that is easy to entice them because of maybe what they were lacking. So I don't know about this mum. She's obviously very emotional and emotionally charged when she filmed this video. She might, I don't know if that's how she communicates with her children all the time. Yeah. But I think that, you know, in order to make sure your home is solid, that you also have to mix discipline with a lot of nurture and love. And sometimes the balance isn't there, and that's why it's easy for someone to come in and, you know what I mean? Just step in your space. Yeah, I agree. I think so. After I watched this video, I spoke to my older sister, and I think that there's a lot of things going on. So first of all, I just want to highlight something as well, something that was mentioned. Yeah. So Barnett said he used to get his ass bust, and just to highlight that it's a cultural thing. Barnett, in case you haven't noticed, is mixed race. Yeah. You are, right? Yeah. And his mum is white, yeah? White. And his mum was still that firm disciplinarian for him. So it is a cultural thing. And that culture it's not a racial thing so much. Now, but with these support workers coming in,
if they don't understand a community that they're trying to work with, then the results are not going to be positive. Yeah. So, for example, you can't be, if there's a parent kind of trying to instill certain values into their child, like to clean your room. I'm not even sure if she said it in the video, but if you watch so in the full video, she talks about when she wants her son to clean his room, he's calling this support worker, and the support worker is kind of acting like you don't need to do those kind of things. Like, I actually think that in the long term, he's going to like suffer as a result of that. Another point that I kind of spoke about with my sister, and I guess I'll try and be quick with this because maybe this is where it gets really long and controversial. But I do think fathers have got a role to play in this, yeah? And I was brought up in a single parent household, yeah? And I think I've turned out fine. So salute to my mum, salute to all the single mums, yeah? But I do think, you know, there was something she said about our community trying to help and support our community. And I know we don't live in this utopia where every couple who gets together is going to be together forever. But I do think that fathers need to take responsibility. If you're from like an inner city environment and your parents have it tough, or you've got it tough, I think people just need to think about it. Like, a lot of people are just having children very willy-nilly, and they're not really, like, I've got a lot of friends who are not raising their kids, innit? They've got enough kids out there and they're not raising them. Now, I think that is kind of an issue, and if that dad was in his life, maybe it would have avoided all this support work stuff. Maybe. I'm not saying definitely, but I strongly believe in that, innit? Like, I think that the father needs to be involved. He don't have to be with the mum. Obviously, that's not always going to happen, but he should be involved. If the dad was involved, he might be able to have that conversation, and that support worker may never need to enter the frame.
But like you said, a lot of people are having children willy-nilly, so it depends who that father is. A lot of children are probably better off without their father, because some fathers haven't been finished raised themselves.
Yeah, it's true.
So they haven't actually got anything positive to offer. Yeah. And sometimes a strong single mother is better than that being diluted by a dad who's going to come and, you know, have a negative influence on a child. So yeah, I think as women, we need to think a lot more carefully about who we have our children with. Exactly. And do you know what? I apologize because it sounds sexist, but I think, unfortunately, the power is with the women. Like, I know young people are going to get together. Like, two young, naive young people will get together. And let's be honest, when you're 18, 19, even up to 25, you're not really always looking at the big picture, you know. You might meet someone, you like them, you like their swag, rare, and then it might just result in a child. But I do think people do need to wake up, because there are a lot of people who, like, I know women who are older and have been in relationships with guys, but I've had conversations with them where it's like, they know what they're getting into. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, some people are mindful that they're getting involved with somebody who already's got a bag of picnic and he doesn't look after them. So why is it going to be any different for your kids? So I don't know. But I know it's like a big kind of worms, isn't it? There's a lot that kind of can link to that. So, all right, I'm going to pass it to you guys, have your final thoughts, and then we'll go to a break, innit?
I've been saying this for a long time. People that I see coming in, because we've got in our area, we've got like a social worker or mentor, Mark Sterling, who's very good.
Salute to Mark.
With the kids, very good, because he has a good understanding of where they're coming from. And then you have other ones that come from. I know I keep referring to Clifton, but I don't want to say nicer areas either, because my area was nice when I was living there. Just a different culture from where we're from, and they come in and they think it's groovy and fun to be in this area working with these kids, but they have not got a clue. And I think the organisations need to start pairing these people with someone probably like Mark Sterling to basically teach them a little about the culture and things about what we're about, to help them grow as well as us. That's what I got to say. That's my final thought.
You got a final thought on it, Elise?
Yeah. You don't have to be someone's father to be a father figure, or 100%. To be a role model. So I think if you're a black man doing something positive, and even have a history of maybe how you've turned your life around, it is, whether you like it or not, your responsibility to go and seek out these youths and help them and show them direction, because sometimes a mother can't do it on their own, and sometimes they've made a poor choice in who they've chosen to be a father. That doesn't mean that, you know, their child should suffer. So I just think, you know, a lot of men should step up. It doesn't matter if it's your child, if you're with a woman, if you know the woman, but, you know, it can be really powerful just to even stop someone on the street who you see going in the wrong direction and just give them some positive advice. It's your responsibility, like, whatever. Some
guidance. It's rewarding as well. You know,
100%.
To see the guys that you've worked with. Obviously, when I was growing up, because I played basketball, I had a lot of mentors growing up. I had Delroy Thomas, Marcus Barnaby, Leah Liazor, Brian Butler, Roger. All of those guys taught me a lot of things about life, and that kind of kept me from the other side where I could have ventured that side quite easily, but I never did. And it's all down to those guys, those positive role models. Obviously, they probably never thought of it like that, but they were positive role models for me growing up.
You had something positive to aspire to.
Yeah, I always wanted to be like them, and I actually wanted to be better than them. And it's always good to have that kind of challenge in life. Yeah, well, we got to wrap up here, Benny. All right. We're going to when we come back, we'll be talking to Lisa Marie Carter about her life.
Stay tuned, peeps.
Baby Bundle Boutique specialise in providing a variety of baby essentials creatively arranged for that perfect gift with a difference. From cakes to castles, vests to pram shoes, as well as our bespoke encrusting service, we have the ideal gift to welcome baby into the world.
Right now I can settle for kisses. In a minute I'll soon be your missus.
On and down track for a long time, online. Love to chat, but they never say you're on site. On Babylon for the record. Walk in the studio and sang.
In 1968, St. Paul's Festival, which later became St. Paul's Carnival, was set up by the committee. St. Paul's Carnival, one of the most well-attended and vibrant of the city's annual calendar of cultural events, which takes place every first Saturday in July. It is a celebration of African Caribbean culture which has established Bristol's heritage and identity. Over 100,000 people attend this event, and up to 1,000 participants from local schools, communities, groups and stages, sound systems and a wide array of stalls selling food and crafts. To come to St. Paul's Carnival 2015, then please go to our website for more information and updates at www.stpaulscarnival.org.uk.
Yo, welcome everybody, welcome back in the building, the Ross Barnett Show. So yeah, after quite an interesting first half of the show, now we get to move on to one of the bits that I was most looking forward to anyway. So now we're going to talk to the lovely Lisa Marie Carter. We need some noise or something. Barn, we need to get like some sound effects things, you know.
I want one of those old sampler things.
Oh, the one that the sound man them used to use. Yeah. That's sick.
That would definitely suit me.
Yeah, that's
that would be
sick.
wicked. Benny, you can control that as well, yeah?
On the ones and twos. Well, welcome.
Thank you again.
The lovely Lisa Marie Carter. So, I basically had you down as entrepreneur, businesswoman, jewelry designer. Is that fair? Have I missed anything?
Mother.
Okay, salute. Okay.
That was me that did that.
Yeah.
Nah, salute to that. So, all right. So, for people who may not know who you are, just give us a little background, and we've got questions about like where you are today and stuff. But where are you from, and just kind of introduce yourself to the people.
Hi guys. So I'm from Bristol. I was born and raised in Bristol. Lived in St Paul's most of my life. I have 2 boys, one age 19, one age 7. Worked, employed until the age of 24 when I set up my own business-to-business IT and events company. And then at the age of 30, I started getting into design, primarily jewelry design, after like a few years of playing with fashion, doing some styling and stuff like that. And then it was a hobby and something I was passionate about, and it's now turned into a business and going really well. So I'm juggling 2 businesses at the moment. Awesome.
So I think first things first, like where does your passion for business and like entrepreneurship come from?
It's really cool actually. Someone lost this video, but I had a video of me that was filmed at my primary school when I was about 10. And they said, what did I want to be? And I went to school in Clifton, so all the kids were like, you know, a doctor and a vet and all these things. And I was like, yeah, vet, that sounds really cool. Work with animals, yeah. And I was thinking, do you know what? I don't even want to work for anyone. I want to work for myself. Like, I just want to be rich. That was how I thought at the time anyway. I want to be my own boss. So I always knew I wanted to work for myself. And I got my first job at age 14. So coming from a single family home, single mum, I always wanted to help her. So I remember my first job was in a cleaning company, and then, you know, just did random telesales jobs and just loads of different things. But I was certain that I wanted to work for myself and just basically build my own empire. So when I left school, you know, well, what course do you want to do? Like, who really knows? A lot of people don't know. I didn't know anyway. Yeah. So I studied business just so that whatever field I opened a business in, I would have the basic business knowledge. But yeah, always knew that I kind of wanted to be my own boss.
Did you have Mrs. Pope for business?
Yeah, for a little bit of time. And then there was this other guy, I can't remember, but he told me I was going to be a millionaire. He wasn't quite right, but he may be right. But he was really
it's not too late. Like,
yeah, but he was good. But yeah, Mrs. Pope was my business studies teacher for a while.
I did business. Was it Mr. Haber?
Mr. Haber, yeah.
Oh, and what school is this? This is Cabot?
No, this is Cotton.
Oh, you went Cotton as well?
Cotton
Grammar.
Yeah.
Not another one. Another one.
Exactly. Loads of us.
Yeah.
Loads of us.
There are loads of you. Too many.
Okay, yeah.
All right, so we'll get to that, Benny, man. Just fall back,
bro.
How
excited he is.
Benny likes that bit.
Your braids too tight, playboy. Nah, I feel you. All right, so so you always wanted to work for yourself. You wanted to be rich. You're still on that path now.
Yeah.
So talk to us about Love My Custom.
Okay. So firstly, like, you know, growing up in St Paul's and my mum always struggling but doing her best to make ends meet. In fact, she did a wonderful job, but not having things in abundance. The idea of being rich just kind of took struggle out of the equation. But obviously the idea, everyone wants to be comfortable, but the idea of being rich isn't like what I think is, you know, classed as you've made it type of thing. But yeah, so when I was pregnant with my youngest son, Cairo, who's 7, I thought, you know what, okay, I've done well. Financially, I'm doing really well. My business has done well. However, from the outside, it may seem like, oh my gosh, she's doing amazing. She's got her own business. She's got an amazing car, blah, 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 blah. But I didn't feel fulfilled. And it really made me realize that you have to do stuff that you're passionate about. You know, it's fine making money, it's fine having fancy things, but you have to be really happy. And something was lacking in my career, and I realized I've always had kind of like a love affair with accessories and jewelry and just creating things. So I started to sketch things like jewelry.
Okay.
Because I always used to do stuff like I used to do styling for celebrities with Nike and Adidas and stuff.
Wow.
I was always customizing like trainers for them, and I thought the idea of having custom jewelry where someone can come and decide, okay, I want that, but with this initial or that name on it. I thought that'd be really, really cool. And I took it back to kind of my childhood days. So I wanted to be really playful. So I drew a few designs and stuff and researched like the sort of materials that I could make them from, and chose acrylic because it was accessible, it was cheap, and it just allowed me to kind of play around with it. And yeah, that's how Love My Custom was born. It's LMC, which is my initials.
Right.
Lisa Marie Carter. And I just love customizing things, and it was really, really cool. So I launched this website where you could go online, you could build your own hoops, put your name in it, choose the colors, same for necklaces, and that's how my jewelry sort of brand, or my relationship with jewelry started as a hobby. And then it kind of evolved when I was having requests from like Kelly Rowland's stylist. She wore my pieces.
Wow.
Rita Ora wore my pieces, and I was like, this is actually pretty cool. People like my work. Kind of went from there.
Obviously the jewelry's taking you to some I've been in some big events. Is London Fashion Week?
Yeah, New York Fashion Week and London Fashion Week. Yeah, so
that's pretty much the peak, isn't it? Is that like that is the peak?
Yeah.
When I seen that, I was just like,
New York Fashion Week came first, but I was really quiet about it. I was just like, ooh, you know, you just think, okay, I don't know. I was really quiet about it. That came with Love My Custom. That was before I launched my current jewelry brand.
Right.
But yeah, that was like, wow. I wasn't there, but I have all the images of my pieces being up and down the runway. But yeah.
So how did they get picked up? Like, what was the process? Did somebody just spot your stuff?
Do you know what? I've always been quite good at marketing myself. Like, okay, to launch a brand, you know what holds people back is just everything that's involved, like a website, a logo. I just did it all myself.
Yeah.
I read up, I taught myself. I already had a lot of. I was quite tech savvy because my main business was an IT events company. So I used a lot of what I knew from that and launched my own website, and people just saw the jewelry. Once it was on certain celebrities, you know, I reached out to certain press, and it kind of just grew organically, like it just evolved naturally, and it just kind of built itself to an extent.
Wow.
And my jewelry was really cool, so, you know.
Nah, it was. I do remember at the time seeing it about. It was really colourful.
Yeah.
And I know this is probably stupid. Like acrylic, is acrylic a type of plastic?
It is, yeah. It goes by the name of either, like mainly acrylic in the UK we call it.
So is it like 3D printers that kind of make those products?
It's like a laser. Like a 3D design sort of software, and it's quite flat. Like, you know, the difference with what I do now is, you know, it's got more depth to it and stuff like that, and it's made from molds and things. But yeah, the acrylic stuff was made from laser acrylic cutters. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And loads of people obviously coming up on the screen here. Where Alicia Dixon. What's that girl's name? I should know her name.
She was in Girls Aloud.
Yeah.
Here, Nadine.
Yeah,
Nadine.
She was the prettiest one, innit? And then Kimberly took over still. Salute to Justin still. Yeah, Kimberly took over.
Yeah, big up Justin, wherever you may be.
Yeah. Grinding Kimberly. So, no, it's live, innit? Things go left.
That's my current brand, though. That's Nikao.
Okay.
Yeah. So Love My Custom is no more.
Yeah, so how did that transition come about? What kind of moved you from Love My Custom to Nikao?
Well, Love My Custom was like a reflection of the younger me.
Okay.
And I kind of felt that it wasn't a perfect representation of the woman I am today. And it didn't embody like everything that I want to kind of deliver in terms of a message, in terms of being powerful, in terms of being resilient, relentless, strong, going and getting what you want, etc., etc. And also, as women, I think we should value ourselves very highly. So I wanted to make sure that the jewelry was also of a very, very good quality and was something that I'd wear as the woman I am today.
Yeah.
So that's how I made the transition, seeing how well things had gone, and more importantly, just how much I loved making jewelry. I then launched Nikao, which is my current jewelry brand, which we're just showing on screen. And yeah, it's just more opulent. It's more luxurious, and it's a better reflection of the sort of woman that I want to target.
Okay.
Yeah, we got the website just down below there, guys. So, you know.
And that's the one that was featured at London Fashion Week.
Christmas is coming. Find out what your woman wants first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I already looked on the site. Still, I am copying something. I'm copying, innit? I'm copying.
Your wife.
Yeah.
Be very happy.
My wife. Yeah, I'm copying. I've seen already. We'll talk off camera, innit? But I'm definitely copying something still.
Okay, good.
But yeah. So Nikao.
It's actually pronounced Nikao.
Right.
It's a Greek word which means I am winning,
okay,
or to have the victory, and or to be an overcomer. And that's something that I've been many times in life. You know, adversity is not. I'm not a stranger to adversity or having to overcome things, and just the resilience that we demonstrate as women and how we overcome things and how I've been able to overcome things. I thought that the name of my brand had to be very, very meaningful. But the motto of my brand is for women who write their own rules. And even though it's meant to be pronounced Nikao, I pronounced it Nikao. That's my rule. So yeah, so I'd switch it up a little bit.
Very much like my daughter and my wife make their own rules.
Yeah. It's kind of how I've succeeded in business. So many people put you in a box or say you can't, or there's these limitations, and that's because that's from what they know or how they've seen things done. And a lot of my success has been based on doing things my own way, and you know, kind of breaking those molds and showing that it can be done.
Unconventional kind of.
Very.
So of all the people who have worn your products over the years, has there been like one where you was like, wow, like I'm really making noise, like maybe somebody that you really respect, you like their work or what have you? Has there been one person who, like, when they've kind of given you that cosign, you've been like, wow, like that was a really nice acknowledgement?
Like a lot of celebrities wear my jewelry, but what's more personal for me is when the everyday person, a non-celebrity, buys it. That's really meaningful to know that, you know, because how it works in the celeb world, they wear something on a red carpet or in a music video, and that's it. But when someone's gone on my website and they have fallen in love with a piece and they've selected a piece and that's special to them, that's in their home, and they've worn it because they appreciate my design, like, to see an image of that is really touching for me. So yeah, that, funnily enough, that's
everyday person as opposed to celeb.
Yeah.
What's it? Obviously, you spoke previously, because I'm a trainer freak, and you talked about customizing trainers stuff. Is that something that you... Because I was thinking to myself the other day, there's no companies at the moment that customize trainers really good. 'Cause I used to customize trainers myself. I used to do like a manga. Well, me and my wife, I better say me and my wife because she'll start cussing. Me and my wife used to do like manga characters on like Timberlands.
Yeah.
We also used to do Air Force Ones, redesign those, and all that kind of stuff. Do you think there's a market for that?
Well,
now?
When I done it was in 2004, and I had a good relationship with Nike. So they sent me like 150 pairs of Air Force Ones, and I was doing them for like celebrities and you name it, just literally sitting at home and painting it, and there was nothing like it. At the time, there was, you know, Google was in its infancy. I don't even know if it existed. It was like AskJeeves.com. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, there was like a load of people in the States doing it, but not many in the US, in the UK.
Yeah.
And then that led me to collaborating with Adidas and Swarovski.
Okay.
And I did like a pair of Adidas skate highs, and covered them in Swarovski crystals, and it was just amazing. It was like over £3,000 worth of crystals on this pair of shoes. The thing is now it's kind of saturated, and the technology and the equipment you can use to customize something is really advanced now. So I think unless you're coming on your A game, your best game, then I don't really think there's much of a market for it. And I also think that true sneakerheads, true sneaker lovers want their trainers as they are.
Yeah, the original.
They want the original, because I was doing like lace locks, you know, the Dubrays that you put on your laces.
Yeah.
And I went to Crep City with them. This is when I love my custom, and the true sneakerheads, they didn't want that on their trainers. Do you know what I mean? It was more like a novelty kind of. You want that history, you want that quality, you want that untouched trainer. So I don't know. I wouldn't say it's something that is worth making a business out of, but then you might put a twist on it that I've not even thought of. So times have changed. So
I used to customize mine. So I actually, even you can ask all my boys, I actually put my own face on my Air Force Ones.
Who bought
people
those?
going, no. Who bought them?
That doesn't surprise me though. That doesn't surprise me. This guy.
But hold on, didn't you have like your own trainer shop at one point? Like, was it Christmas Steps? You had something, or you were part of something?
Yeah, part of a shop. Angry Dave's still going. Angry Dave on Christmas Steps.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I remember your love
He was
affair
involved.
with training.
He was involved. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I had some custom Air Force Ones though, still, and it was around those times. It was when I was in BS5, so that's got to be 2002.
Would you remember like Matthew? Not Matthew. It was
Gregory.
Some of the Gregory.
Yeah.
Gregory, Jarrell, and what was their cousin called? I don't really know.
Kai.
Yeah, they all had all the colourful Air Force Ones.
Yeah, I had a pair as well. You did them.
That was me, yeah.
You didn't do my ones though.
What colour were they?
Mine had. It's embarrassing. I just running this guy for having his face on.
This is a bootleg person.
Nah.
That's what Eastfield Market was about, innit?
No. Mine had my name on it, yeah, but it was like red and yellow. It was red and yellow. It was like graffiti. It wasn't you who did it. It was definitely a guy who did graffiti.
Yeah.
That man had the link with. I can't remember. I can't remember who the guy was. It wasn't you.
Okay, but yeah, those ones.
Early though. This was early.
No, I remember. I know.
Early.
But yeah, that was me, like literally sitting with my acrylic paint, acrylic as well, and like hand painting the trainers.
I know the ones you're talking. I remember the ones you did though.
Yeah.
Because you did the ones where they had like solid colour in it. Like the front panel would be one colour, and I remember those ones. I did like
a denim pair for Gregory. They were like denim.
Yeah, I remember.
They were Levi's.
I remember.
Levi's
Yeah.
But that's long gone now.
Yeah. Those was fly though. Those are on. Going left. Those are on the BS5
cover.
Mixtape CD.
Yeah.
Those are on there. But anyway, but we digress.
As we do. That's what happens when you're live.
Live.
I had a jacket to go with those white Air Forces with my face on it as well. Guess who was on the back? Me.
Yo, you love himself. This guy loves himself, you know.
If you can't love yourself, you can't love nobody.
That's true, bro. That's true. All right, so where is so you know, I keep wanting to say Nikao.
That's fine, it's just
instinctually.
Because that's the right pronunciation.
So okay. So now we're going to go with your, because it's your brand, we're going to go with Nikao.
Yeah.
So what is the next step for Nikao? Where do you want to take things? What are your kind of future plans for the brand?
Well, I run the brand myself. I do like the PR, the marketing. I do most of it. And what a rewarding thing that recently happened was having my jewelry featured in Vogue.
Okay.
Like that's major in the fashion industry.
Yes.
Yeah. And yeah, it was kind of like that was reaching the sort of pinnacle, you know, like a really rewarding point of my career. And kind of a seal of approval, because when I started my brand, even though I'm a local girl, I didn't want it to be a local brand. I wanted it to be international, and you know, it's doing its thing. So next for me is really to expand it outside of just jewelry. I want to expand it into a fully fledged accessories brand, to include bags, you know, the likes. So yeah, that's what I'll be looking towards in 2018, and already have a really cool collaboration set up. So
wicked.
Things are moving.
Okay, we're looking forward to that.
Yes. Some men's jewelry.
Do you like jewelry, Barn? Do you wear it?
I only wear my wedding ring, the Ring of Mordor.
The Ring of Mordor.
I got this. Well, I got off my kids. I didn't really get it off them. I bought them and they didn't want it, so they gave it back to me. Okay. And I got my cross.
Yo, you got a few pieces then.
No, do you know, I got loads of stuff at home, but I don't wear jewelry anymore. I'm not that guy anymore, bro. I'm not that guy who wears a picture of me on my jacket
face on his back
or on my trainers anymore. I'm a grown man now, so. Yeah.
Right. Okay. No, but going back, Vogue, big look.
Vogue was so big, Lisa. When I seen that, I was just like, it was a proud moment for me to think, you know, I went to school with Lisa. She's from where I'm from, and she's in Vogue Magazine. Like that's the biggest thing for me.
Yeah,
that's probably the biggest thing for me. Yes, that's the biggest thing for me from someone I know.
Aww.
And then second would be Ian Farquharson. Right in the winning Eurovision Song Contest. Ian, you're second.
Decent.
No, thank you. Yeah, yeah, that was a big moment because Vogue was like my introduction to the fashion world at about the age of 14.
Okay.
When I went to Mr. Singh's shop and bought my first copy of Vogue.
And a patty.
Yeah, always got the patty. And even in my status where I announced that I was in Vogue, I put like that was my first realization and awareness that D&G was not just a canned drink. You know, like the like it was actually Dolce & Gabbana. It was a fashion brand. And that's what opened my eyes to just like the possibilities of being able to create something. Do you know what I mean? But circumstances in life sometimes lead you in the direction of what will make you secure rather than what you're actually passionate about. But I've learned that you can actually be secure from your passion, and I've really enjoyed that journey in terms of being able to do what I love and make a living from it.
Yeah, I think that's really important because we do hear this. Like I hear it a lot, like you should always do something you love, but I think you're right. Like so many of us, we just get caught into this, we're just trying to like make a living, and you end up doing things that you're not. And I'm sure you probably get the best out of yourself when you're doing something you love as well, right?
100%. We all have a purpose, and that's something that I didn't realize why I was lacking, or why, you know, you're always searching for something. There's this void all the time, and it's because you're not living your true purpose. So like doing what I love, and I feel like I'm fulfilling my purpose or on the way to doing so. So yeah, it's naturally going to succeed because it's where I'm meant to be. So
can't say any more about that.
Yeah. I just there's one last thing I just want to ask you. What kind of advice would you give to? And I have read like the kind of bio on the site, and there's definitely references to kind of empowerment for women.
Yeah.
And I think even today you've said a few things that demonstrates like, you know, you value that. So, you know, what advice would you give to kind of young women who want to get into business?
Every industry operates differently, so just know your industry. There's so much information out there. One thing I lacked was a mentor, but I'm living proof that you can do it without. If you can find someone who's a mentor, someone you look up to, someone who's done it before you, then definitely connect with them, because I've had to learn the hard way with so many things. But, you know, and think big. There's so many people starting businesses and they just think so local. Like, I don't know, if you wanted to start a florist, don't just think about a little florist shop. Think about providing flowers to all your local churches in and around Southwest. Think about, I don't know, think about being the #1 funeral florist, and just think big. Think about having your flowers on the runway of fashion shows. Don't think local, because that's what I think limits us. Just think big and do things big. Once you think small and you think, yeah, maybe, you know, I could do this and it will be successful in whatever area, you're limiting yourself, and already you're limiting your growth. So just think big and get to know your industry. Read. You don't necessarily have had to go to college or uni. I'm a self-taught jewelry designer, so you know, if it's naturally in you, if you're naturally passionate at it, you're going to be good at it.
That's the way I think. Obviously there's a lot of talented people in Bristol, and they never want to come out of that comfort zone. You've always got to push yourself and go to unknown boundaries.
Yeah.
And just basically you'll better yourself and make yourself a better person, and get those links that you may need, because you're never going to get it from being in this massive, beautiful city. I was going to say small city. Well, with all due respect, when I started my brand, I didn't think about girls in Bristol buying my jewellery. It's a bonus. I'd love you to, of course. Yeah. But, you know, that's only going to get me so far. I wanted to see it on the big screen. I wanted to see it in boutiques all around the world, and I wanted to see it in international magazines. And by thinking that way, I've kind of manifested it and put my focus and energy in the right places. So, yeah.
Salute.
Can I just say one more thing? I just want to big up one of Lisa's first models, Azara Fuller, and her baby,
Auntie,
the cutest baby
Freya
at the moment.
She's
the
so
cutest
cute.
baby at the moment. Loving the pictures, Azara. But I want to see some pictures of Uncle as well, holding the baby. All right. I know he's getting old and all that now.
She also did some photography for me as well.
Yeah.
She's a triple threat.
Mm-hmm. Bro,
yeah.
Didn't know she could take.
I'm telling you.
Didn't know she could take pictures.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, just point and click.
Shout out to Auntie. Shout out to Auntie. All right. Well, look, Lisa, thank you very much for joining us this week. I think it's been a real privilege to have you on the show, and definitely some gems been dropped. So thank you very much for joining us. Barn, what you got to say, bro?
Pleasure. Lisa, you're making us Cotton guys and girls proud. Another successful person from Cotton. We had it hard there. You know, we had it hard, but we pulled through. Yeah, we pulled
No
through.
way did you have it on. What are you talking about? I went to
hard.
Fairfield.
Yeah, exactly.
There weren't even no grass. There weren't even no grass there, bro.
There was that algae or something on the corner of the brick wall where they
Get out of here. Get out of here, man. All right, cool. Well, look, guys, from me, thank you for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed this week's episode of the Ross Barnett Show. I want to say big up to Lisa. I want to say big up to man like Benny Ben in the background. Thanks to everybody who's tuned in. Please share the show. Like it, subscribe. Also, Barnett was bunning GoFundMe pages earlier, yeah? We've set up a GoFundMe page. I'm going to post it on the timeline after today's show. We're trying to raise some money to basically get an Apple Mac, yeah? Because at the moment, we're using some backstreet software. Not software, but hardware, yeah? So we want to try and raise up a bag. £1,000. It's not a lot of money. I haven't got £1,000. Barnett's got even less money than I have. And Benny gets paid in quinoa. So basically things are tough. So please guys, do, like, even if you could donate like £1, do you get what I'm trying to say? It all helps, innit? So thank you very much. But yeah, I hope everyone has a good week. I'm gonna pass you over to Barnett to sign us out, yeah? Bless.
Benny, what are my levels like? Your levels are good. Yo, listen. When you see me probably walking past Cotton Lawn, because that's where me and Lisa used to go to school, and I got my hood up and I've got a chain on, and I'm walking past, I see a cat there, he looks at me, I look back at him, he looks back at me and he goes, meow. I say, nah, this is Nikao.
Positive energy, yeah, positive energy, yeah, positive energy, that's what I'm on, and that's what I'm meant to be. I'm about that